Hi there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading. This is Yetta Pearl, and this is your general angel reading for the week of May 16th through 22nd of 2022. So, your cards are really slow to come out today, so we're just going to be patient and we'll keep going. And I'm just going to ask if there's any kind of a pre-message. Often that's what they want me to do when the cards are slow. Take a deep breath. Take it easy. It's like something's got you stressed out and it's not worthy. You're wasting your energy by doing that. And so whatever it is, like it feels to you quite immediate and quite like this is a big deal. And they're saying it really isn't. And so if you just take a deep breath and take a step back from it, then it'll take a little bit of time, but fairly soon you will be able to see that, right, you just should, it's best for the whole situation as well as for you within yourself to just not stress over that, to not identify with it, right? It's not yours. It's like it's not yours to bother being upset over. They're kind of saying, like, for some of you, yes, it's your thing, but it's I don't know. It's like it's somebody else doing something or not doing something that's got you stressed out, and just stop, because that's not for you to do. Okay, all right. So let's see what the cards are for your reading for this time. So the first card in the whole reading says, "Stay true to yourself." So this is, it's like there's a situation or something where it would be tempting to just kind of go along with whatever else is happening, whatever somebody else is saying or doing or whatever. But if this thing goes against your integrity, your values, your morals, then don't do it. I mean, you don't have to be a whistleblower. You don't have to, get involved in any way. You can just distance yourself. And, depending what that is, that's maybe the way to go. Also, again, depending what it is, you might have to kind of get involved, because somebody else, some innocent person, might get hurt if you don't. But again, don't act in a way that is contrary to your inner beliefs and integrity. Make sure you're staying true to yourself. That's who you are. I mean, if you act in a way that is contrary to your inner self, that's contrary to your best vision of your own self, then you will be disillusioned with yourself. You will, then that will lead to loss of confidence and, just being disappointed in your own self. And you just don't want that. I mean, that's a big deal. Okay. Now, which direction, angels, am I going? Okay, we'll go this way. So here comes a whole bunch of waves of prosperity. Now, everything does go in waves, ups and downs, things like that. You are on the top of a wave right now, and that is in prosperity as well as in other things like accomplishments and, feeling good. Some things are coming to an end as other things are starting. Everything has its own wave. It's high, its peak, right, as well as its low. And so your prosperity is coming in this beautiful wave of abundance. And you can just celebrate that fact. I mean, it feels like there's a little aspect of feeling a bit smug, that, ooh, look what I can do, and I can bring in all this money. And yeah, okay, that's true. Have some, confidence and happiness with yourself, but try not to be arrogant and, and, bragging about it. That's not attractive at all. Even within yourself, that's not attractive at all. Just feel content with it, right? And while you're continuing to attract more of that, it does feel like generally you are quite prosperous. And so you do, I don't know, it's like you have a high standard. Pardon me, suddenly I'm croaky, which I often am. So, let's just see where it goes. But this prosperity, like, make sure you're making the most of it too, right? Like, don't go blow it on foolish things. You don't need those things. Make sure that whatever you're using it for or investing it in or whatever is something that's worthy, that's going to continue the wave of prosperity long beyond this one, right? Okay, all right. So, so what is motivating you these days? What is motivating you? So the message here is asking you, like, what gets you out of bed? What gets you moving? I'm getting these, kind of all over the board things. So some of you are feeling, it's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to keep doing the things you've been doing. It's feeling like the same old, and oh my gosh, is this not done yet? And what's beyond that? What's beyond this day? For your future, how do you want it to look? What are you manifesting? What are you attracting? What are you creating? And so some of that will be to do with the things that money can buy. And so keeping that in mind, not the money particularly, but the outcome, right? The vision of what you want to see, what you want to create in your own life, and who's there with you, and what you're doing there while you're together, and all that stuff. Keep that in mind, because that is what will keep you interested in what you're doing today to create for tomorrow and the other tomorrows. It feels very much on the same level as this integrity, being true to yourself, right? Making sure that what you're creating is in line with who you are. Okay. Pardon me. So there's more, like, for some of you, this has nothing really to do with money. This is to do with people. This is what your motivation is. And so the angels are cautioning you, and again, we're going back to this, being true to yourself. The angels are cautioning you to make sure that the person who is your main motivation is yourself. So, if you're one of those people who says, oh no, I do absolutely everything for my kids. I know of people who, when their kids grow up and they move away and then they never even call home, right? What have you created there? What have you, that's your major fear, right? That's coming to fruition. And so make sure that you keep yourself and your own satisfaction at the top of your list. And then once that has been looked after, once you have looked after yourself, then there's more of you to look after everybody else and to bring some motivation to yourself based upon the other people in your life. But you need to start with yourself, because other people can be removed from you. And that's not a fear-based thing. That is just a knowledge of how to not fall apart should something like that happen in your future. And, somebody who does base their whole life upon looking after somebody else, putting somebody else's needs first all the time, that is what feels fear-based. That is, you're attracting the exactly what you fear, because that's what you're focusing upon the most. So when you understand that you are a complete being, true to yourself, every minute of every day, and that your life is enriched by these other people, but your life will continue without those other people, then you understand what your true motivation in life is best to be. Okay, that was kind of long-winded. All right. Hopefully that got through to you. Okay, they're just saying, yeah, you did. You got through. It's good. Stop there. Okay. All right. So, we were talking about cycles earlier with the waves of prosperity and how it goes like this, and things, begin and they peak and they, they slack off and they end, and something else begins and starts. Yeah. It's time to move on. There is something in your life that is just finished. For most of you, it feels like, yeah, this is fine. It's just kind of the next step or whatever. So in that way, I would say it's not really a big earth-shattering thing, but there will be something about it that kind of grabs your attention and shows you that, oh, yeah, like remember when that started and I was so excited and it was fabulous and all that stuff. And now I'm done with it and it's ending. I'm kind of sad that it's ending. But that has struck you, that. And for some of you, it is actually a bigger thing. It's time to bite the bullet and just get this finished and done with. It's been dragging on, and it's gone on longer than it really is healthy to do. So it's just time to finish that and let the new thing take its place. Okay, it's a very hopeful thing, even though your sense of, it's almost a sense of grief at that ending, that's hard, but it's necessary. Okay. Now, perfect is overrated. Don't strive for perfection. You will drive yourself crazy and you will rarely achieve it. So then it just, drags you down. The goal, the best goal, I guess, is excellence. Doing your best and improving each time, learning more from it every time, and making it excellent instead of trying for perfect. You'll never get there, or very rarely will you get there. Okay, you already know that. That's how that feels. You already know that. For some of you, you needed a reminder. And for some of you, okay, you just hadn't heard it put in words before, but you already knew that. Okay. Now, okay, it just feels like suddenly feels like I kind of did this in the wrong order. When we did this time to move on message, exploring your options is all part of that, right? What can possibly, go further? What's next step? What are you going to build on now? What are you going to create next? That's what you're focusing upon, right? So if you're still focusing upon the grief and the ending of it, the, sadness that something is ending, or, those kinds of things, if you're focusing on that, then you're making it drag out longer than it needs to. And instead, what feels best is to look around you and see, like, what are the options? What's going to be next for you in your life? No, you don't want to rush this, but at the same time, you don't want to delay it, right? So if you're looking around and you see, oh, yeah, I could do this, or I could do that, or I could start to smile more, Or I could start to take joy in things that I want to take joy in. I just haven't been letting myself. Those are some of your options. And focus on those things. If your decision is to laugh more, then spend more time picturing yourself laughing and hearing in your inner ear yourself laughing, and just looking around you and seeing the things that would make you laugh, right? All those things, focus upon those and take the steps, like actually laugh when you see those, right? And that will help you be more mindful and be paying attention more to what's going on, and all that stuff, and life becomes more joyful. And that same thing is true for anybody who's discovered or identified a new path, a new option, a new thing to do, a new hobby, even a new something, right? And it brings more joy. Okay, so here we have the daily guidance cards, asking for one last piece of wisdom from your guardian angels. And there it is. Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. Like, it's almost like it's related to this. Entrepreneur. So, some of you may be considering leaving employment situation to go more into entrepreneur. It's coming. It feels like it's like this is one of the options in the here, exploring your options. And so it's coming. Like you can start this while you're still doing that. There is overlap between cycles that are ending and cycles that are beginning, right? So for those of you to whom this is the story with the moving on, then like the entrepreneurship is a good idea for you. You've got the mindset, you've got the discipline required to do that. But take it easy, go a little bit. This is what they were saying at the very beginning before the cards even came out. Take it easy, detach a little bit, take a step back, take a breath. There's no stress required. In some cases, it's not your stress, it's somebody else's, right? So when building this, take your time and build it in your off work hours. Yeah, it takes more effort, more energy. You might be tired, but for a little while, that's going to be worth it. And then when the time comes, so for some of you, this time has come, that the entrepreneurial option, whatever the thing that you've been doing, project, is getting big enough that you can replace the income, or you have enough to help you buy for a short while, right? And make it so that this can support you full time. Yeah, some of you are there. That sounds really good. Okay, alrighty. Well, Taurus, fabulous reading for you yet again. And so thank you so much for being here. I want you to know how much I appreciate you and that I love you. And I'll see you next time.